station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm Chief Meteorologist Janessa Webb. We had a line of severe storms make its way across the region. Things have dramatically calmed down across the area. I'll have your full forecast that has a ton of sunshine in it. I have the full breakdown coming up.
Yeah, the crack of lightning and rumble of thunder as destructive storms move through the region, taking down trees and power lines, canceling flights and leaving thousands in the dark. Good evening, and thank you so much for joining us for DC News Now at 9. I'm Thasmeen Mahfouz.
And I'm Mark Hall, filling in for Chris Flanagan. A time lapse of today's storms moving through the nation's capital. Dark clouds soaring over the U.S. Capitol dome. The sky, an ominous gray.
Yeah, the worst of it is over, but tonight, many signs of what passed through.
Yeah, the severe weather slamming western Maryland. Both of these videos were taken in Hagerstown. The storms rolled through here before hitting D.C., dropping giant hailstones from the sky and producing powerful winds.
And in Harford County, north of Baltimore, first responders were busy rescuing families from scenes like this. Trees down, crashing and landing onto homes. We've reached out to the Harford County officials to get a better idea of the extent of this damage and whether anyone was injured.
And in Frederick, we've been talking to one family who tells us lightning struck near their home, knocking out power to the neighborhood. Our Michaela Newton has that report in just a few minutes. But first, we're tracking the damage in Northern Virginia.
Yeah, we're going to check in with our Northern Virginia Bureau reporter Max Marcilla with what he's seeing there.
Driving around Loudoun County during the worst parts of the storm and shortly thereafter, you could see plenty of damage here in Ashburn Farm. Well, you can see a tree that once stood tall was uprooted and now lies on its side. But the damage of trees, just part of the problem. Thousands of Dominion Energy customers were in the dark. That includes apartment complexes and homes, as well as the Ashburn Shopping Plaza with restaurants, gyms, all of them in the dark, as well as the always reliable McDonald's in the dark, powerless, and closed down, waiting for the lights to come back on. At its peak, just after 6 o'clock, there were about 22,000 Dominion Energy customers without power. And we spoke with a person who said when that storm was at its hardest, it was a sight to see.
It was looking more the middle of the night towards middle of the afternoon. It was very, very windy, and went back in the kitchen. The next thing, lights flickered, out.
We're tracking power outages for Dominion Energy customers. For the latest updates, visit DCNewsNow.com. That story on our front page. Reporting in Ashburn, Max Marcilla, DC News Now.
Yeah, so speaking of current power outages, we want to show you where things stand right now.
Yeah, there's been a significant improvement throughout the evening. Here's where outages stand at the moment. More than 17,000 customers are without power in Fairfax County. In Loudoun County, nearly 8,000 customers. In Prince William County, there are 1,400 customers, and more than 700 HIPCO customers are in the dark tonight. And joining us now, Chief Meteorologist Janessa Webb.
Yeah, and Janessa, tornado watch ended just moments ago. Are you tracking any other damaging weather into tomorrow right now?
We actually have still a few of our counties well to our west under that tornado watch, likely to expire here in the next 10 to 15 minutes. You're still dealing with a few storms that are popping out towards I-95 in Northern Virginia. The bulk of this situation we are currently done with. So here's your lapse of that major squall line that started really across Cumberland and Kaiser. Those are the areas that were highly impacted. Hagerstown, Martinsburg, Cumberland, Kaiser area. I was asked the big question, hey, what is the difference from this storm system compared to 8 days ago? Loudoun County was the initiator of that storm 8 days ago on that Sunday that kind of exploded across the metro area. So it really impacted D.C. Our western counties got impacted this afternoon and early evening. Still some feisty storms across the region from Dumfries into the Stafford area. watching for potential water spouts as that line of storm starts to make its way into Charles County. So all the storms that we've talked about this afternoon into your early evening have a good amount of lightning associated with this. Here's where that tornado watch lies. It's across areas of Delaware at this point. So they have moved it out of Charles and St. Mary's County, and then our western counties, you've been out of the mix for a while at this point. All these little dots that we are talking about, local storm reports, you have over 200 reports at this time with predominantly a wind damage and flooding situation that unfolded from the Shenandoah Valley into areas of the district. We just talked about power outages, but this is what I'm showing you is in percentiles. And folks, I've been watching this very closely for the last couple of hours, and things are looking a lot better, especially my friends in Montgomery County and the district. At this point, Culpeper, Fauquier County, you have the highest amount of power outages across the region, and it's important we get the power restored because it's very warm outside. Really, all of our streets have kind of dried out, and now we are tracking the clearing. High pressure was behind this storm system. It's about to settle in and provide a good amount of sunshine as we go into your Tuesday and Wednesday. We'll check out that forecast coming up.
This is really bad.
And flash flooding takes West Virginia drivers by surprise this afternoon. This video was taken in Parkersburg. That's a city right near the Ohio border. Many roads were shut down in the area, but have since reopened.
Yeah, Tess, while the storms are gone, the after effects are being felt by those trying to fly in and out of town. Hundreds of flights in the D.C. area have been delayed or canceled today. Thousands nationwide. Daniel Hamburg joins us live at Reagan National Airport, where some people are actually spending the night. And Daniel, there's a lot of frustration in the air and a lot of misconnections.
Well, Mark, I talked with several people who say they either found out while they were on the plane on the way here that their second leg was canceled, or some of them found out when they landed here. You can see behind me right here, all of these rows in red are cancellations, and this is just a fraction of what we saw earlier on these boards. According to FlightAware.com, all inbound flights are being held at their origin until 9:30 tonight, and arrival delays are averaging 47 minutes and decreasing. FlightAware says there have been 169 cancellations in the last 24 hours here. As for BWI, incoming delays are averaging a 46 minutes, with inbound flights being held until 9:30 as well. 132 cancellations there in 24 hours. Now, we're talking about Dulles, also in Virginia, has had 57 delays, and they're experiencing gate hold and taxi delays between 31 and 45 minutes. Here at Reagan National, though, some passengers are finding hotels for the night, while others are sticking around for very early morning flights.
Once we landed, the storm rolled in and there was lightning, and then they wouldn't let us off the plane because they said it was a safety issue, so we ended up staying on the plane for 2 hours.
Before we took off, I got a message on my phone saying my connection flight got canceled on the way here, so it was too late for me to get off the plane, so I was basically stuck here for the night. This is my bed for the night, so I can enjoy it while I can.
Yeah, a lot of people making makeshift beds here. His flight is at 5 a.m., so he's just sticking it out through the night here. This, of course, could cause residual delays tomorrow, so it is best to check with your airline to make sure your flight is on time, or if it possibly was changed. We're live at Reagan National Airport. Daniel Hamburg, DC News Now.
Daniel, thank you. All right, let's take another look at the storm. So this one in Montgomery County, over in Gaithersburg, where heavy rain just battered the area this evening, making for a dangerous and tough commute home from work. And in Frederick County, one family tells us lightning struck right near their home, knocking out power to their neighborhood. Our Michaela Newton has the details.
Well, the severe weather in Frederick has calmed down, but there are still power lines and trees down. In fact, one resident I spoke with says she believes that lightning struck right behind her home, causing these trees to fall on this power line, leaving her and her neighbors without power. Severe thunderstorms rolled through Frederick, Maryland Monday afternoon, causing power lines to be down and trees to fall. One neighbor I spoke with off camera says she heard a loud sound that she believes to have been a lightning strike coming from behind her home. She was assisted by the Frederick County Fire Department, but now she and her neighbors are without power. As of 8 p.m., approximately 4,223 customers are currently without power, according to Potomac Edison, who were seen assisting people in the area. And the county is urging residents to be aware of those trees that are down and those power lines. And if there is any flooding near you, make sure you turn around, do not drown. Reporting in Frederick, Maryland, I'm Michaela Newton for DC News Now.
All right, Michaela, thank you. We're continuing to keep an eye on the storm's aftermath throughout our show and keep it here on DC News Now at 9. When we're not on air, be sure to follow us on DCNewsNow.com and make sure you have our weather app downloaded. It's free in the App Store and in Google Play.